Greetings from Tromaville. I'm Lloyd Kaufman, President of Troma Entertainment and creator of the Toxic Avenger. You know, folks, when the Troma team and I are not making those great movies like Terra Firma or Troma's War, we like to kick back and tune in to the 13th Werewolf, because the 13th Werewolf is not just the best werewolf, but the best educational and informational entertainment that I know of.
Hey everyone, I'm the 13th Wolfman. You know who I have with me today? Yes, I do. I have the master of the independent film company, Lloyd Kaufman. You know from Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki, Mother's Day, Surf Nazis Must Die. The list goes on. Welcome, Lloyd. Welcome to Sit Down.
Well, thank you, the 13th Wolfman. This is an amazing sit down, let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean,
This is a sit down. This is a sit down.
This is a sit down.
Right? It's not just a sit down, right?
So, Lloyd, you started Troma in 1974.
Yes, with Michael Hers.
And it's honestly, it's like the most successful independent film company in the U.S.
It's not the only really independent film company in the U.S. And we've lasted a long time, but it gets harder and harder and harder. Very few long-living independent film studios, right, Wolfman?
Corman's
13th.
Yeah. That's okay. Wolfman works. Corman tried it. I mean, with a couple of different companies.
Yeah, well, he's the truly successful one, and has had the good sense to sell his company, and he's responsible for everybody in the land of Lalawood. Where are you guys?
I'm in Washington.
Oh, wow. Cool. That's great.
You know.
And where's Joe?
The other guys are in Connecticut and Massachusetts.
Oh, fantastic. That's terrific.
But you started out when you went to Yale, and while you were at Yale, you met a friend named Eric Sherman.
Yes.
And his father was, of course, the filmmaker Vincent Sherman, who made The Return of Dr. X and Naked Earth.
Correct. You're breaking up a little bit, but I believe you said something about his father was Vincent Sherman.
His father was Vincent Sherman. Yeah, he's the filmmaker that made Naked Earth and Return of Dr. X.
Yeah, very good woman's director too, and wrote an.
Did you ever get any advice from that?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up, unfortunately. But I heard the first part of it. No, just support.
Okay.
But it was because of Mr. Eric Sherman and Robert Edelstein, my two Yale sort of roommates, that I was cinema. They were the ones who, I had no idea of becoming a filmmaker. When I went to Yale, I was going to do something useful with my life, be a school teacher or a social worker, whatever. And but my roommate Robert Edelstein was in charge of the Yale Film Society, and so I sort of got sucked in and realized I was addicted to film, and that would be I would give what I have to give those wonderful people out there in the dark.
Well, at the same time that you were there, Oliver Stone was there. Did you know him at all?
Yeah, we went to second grade together. We were in school, very close friends, and as kids will be, and our folks were very friendly, and we lived very close to each other also, so we were very tight, and through Yale pretty much, and then we made a movie together called Sugar Cookies, and Oliver worked on my first film, Battle of Love's Return. He got into movies because I did. He was writing a book. And when I was at Yale, I started making feature-length films, and Oliver started getting involved, and then he turned out to be a genius. Well, thanks to Lloyd Kaufman.
Thanks to Lloyd Kaufman. Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people.
He would have written a terrible novel if he hadn't have gone into film. My father and I read it. It was awful.
Well, there's a lot of people that can thank their careers to Lloyd Kaufman. you know, Tiffany Shepis, James Balsamo, you know, just to name a few.
Yeah. Hey, come on. How about our old buddy, the Toxic Avenger? How about the Toxie?
Yeah.
You see him? There he is. Toxic Crusaders. Toxic. How about Toxic? He was nothing till I made him. He was, and now look at him. He's mocking me. He won't. I'm trying to get him to renew his contract. Look at him. He won't do it.
So where did the idea for the Toxic Avenger come from?
From my wife and I, from my wife and me, we'd go through various camping trips and see garbage everywhere, non-biodegradable garbage, and we'd be shocked. And in those days, McDonald's crap wasn't biodegradable crap, so it was everywhere. You couldn't go to the remote wilderness without seeing a frog with its neck stuck in a plastic beer.
Those rings, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
those 6-pack rings.
You know, and so that was one thing. You started. Yeah, I was thinking about the environment, and then Michael Hurst read an article in Variety, one of the trade magazines, about horror films are not good now. They're no longer commercial. So then we said, okay, that's where we're going to go. Well, if the experts are saying that, that's where we're going to go and make our movie. And but unfortunately, we like comedy, so we wanted to make a funny horror film. And I love Frankenstein, and I wanted the monster to live. And I am a big fan of Chaplin, obviously. That's where the blind significant other comes from. And Carrie is a major influence on that movie. The Frank played on Carrie is echoed in the emasculation of Little Melvin when he's got the tutu and the sheep and jumps out the window. That's all thanks to Brian De Palma. And the interesting thing about that, interesting to me, is that, maybe not to you guys, but yeah, I'm a narcissist, that the Return to Nuke Em High Volume 2, which is the second half of Return to Nuke Em High, our masterwork, my event film, it opens with Brian De Palma. I don't want to be a spoiler, but it's amazing. I started my career almost at the very beginning. Well, not at the very beginning, but certainly De Palma is a huge influence. So the Toxic Avenger, there's a lot going into it. I could write a book about all the stuff that went into creating the Toxic Avenger, because it's very much in my brain.
Well, you've made movies. Why not write a book? I mean, it'd be kind of an interesting read for me, because I love the Toxic Avenger. Like I told you, one of the first movies I ever saw was, a Troma film was Mother's Day, and you exploded onto the scene in the 80s when it was just perfect, because there was all the video was coming out, everyone could make a movie, and everyone was renting them, and that's what really capitalized your niche. I mean, everyone was renting Surf Nazis Must Die.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of competition. When there's competition for the audience, if you have something that the audience wants, you can do very nicely. But in those days, there was actual competition. The rules against monopoly hadn't been done away with. Now, unfortunately, many of the rules against monopoly have been done away with. So that is why the mainstream distribution is all in the hands of a small number of conglomerates, and very hard for the independent studio to survive. And that's why Troma Entertainment is unique, is that we're still here after over 40 years, and there's hardly a studio around that's got more than 2 years of life, that independent studio.
Yeah.
So it's all changing, and it's big change.
Where does the name Troma come from?
It's from the Latin. We went to Yale University where we studied Latin, Michael Hurst and I. And it means excellence on celluloid in the ancient Latin, book 2 of the Aeneid, Virgil. We didn't know. We didn't know it was going to last that long. We had no idea Troma was going to be there forever.
Here's a little tidbit I looked up. I found out about you.
Oh.
You and another legend, let's say his name is Stan Lee, wrote a film together that never got made.
That's Lee, a Chinese guy, right? Lee?
Yeah, Chinese guy. He's like 3 feet
Oh yeah,
tall.
I think I know. I know. Anyway, what about Stan Lee? Do I owe
Well,
him money or something?
you got. Well, yeah, sure. You guys wrote a movie together that never got
Yes,
made.
we did. We
Can
did.
you talk about that?
Sure, Stan Lee's Night of the Witch, and he had a story. When I got out of Yale, I did one of the things I discovered at Yale. I have to give Mr. Eric Sherman credit for that. Is Marvel Comics, and I had him laying us his room at Yale, and I looked at these, saying, "Whoa, what's all this about?" I never had comic books, never read them, except for Scrooge McDuck, maybe, or Little Lulu, Little Lulu, or something. But I never really got in. I never had them as a kid. So after I got out, I went and found Stan Lee, and he was not quite as Stan Lee in those days as Stan Lee. So he and I hit it off, and he had a tape. He gave me a 1/4-inch tape of a story that he had come up with, and I had a tape recorder, and I listened to it and took his story and made it into a screenplay. It was optioned a couple of times. And there was a guy in Finland who was interested in doing it. But now with Stan, it's got to be on a major, it can't be a Troma budget, it's got to be, Spider-Man budget. So I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh,
It's a
bummer.
damn good script. It's a terrific, scary, contemporary, even though we wrote it in 1970, I think, 1970.
Wow.
It's still contemporary. It's great, and but you need to have Spielberg or the Dorfman or the Dorksters do it. You know what I mean?
We need De Palma. That's what we need.
AAA, yes, exactly. There's a great De Palma retrospective going on right now in New York, and there's a wonderful documentary about him, which I've yet to see. It just it's opened in New York, and it sounds terrific. And the Metro Theater in New York is doing an entire month of De Palma. No, not a month. Yes, a month. And I think showing every movie. One of which, The Wedding Party, is a Troma release. We had nothing to do with making it, but it's De Palma's first movie, and it's De Niro's first movie, and it's De Clayburgh's first movie. And I think it's also Jennifer DeSalt's first movie. I could be. No, it's not. Yeah, maybe. And De Palma, yeah, it's pretty amazing, huh? And there it is. Troma's, we're the archivalists. Troma, right? Troma.
Because I actually thought The Swap was De Niro's first movie, but hey, I'm going to have to look that.
No way. De Palma discovered it. It was De Palma and Wilfred Leach. But check it out. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I'm going to check it out no matter what. I love Brian De Palma.
Yeah, he's great.
I mean, he has a very Hitchcockian sense of making movies.
Absolutely. You said it.
So.
No, he's one of the great ones. He's terrific.
Do you ever think you'll make more Toxic Avenger films, or was 4 it?
Well, we've written number 5, but we need some, how do you call it, financial assistance, like money. We're finishing the Return to Nuke Em High Volume 2, which is called Return to Nuke Em High, aka that we've just locked the picture, and we're about to go into the delightful sound design aspect. And we still have to pay for that. So we've got a script for a rough draft of Toxie 5, and it's very good. And but we need some money, and it's about an $800,000 deal, and we've got $250,000 of our own money, but we got to find either some rich person who wants to lose money or some government to give us a handout.
It'll get made.
Well, let's hope so. But we've got a long road to hoe.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said the word hoe on.
Hey, man, you can say hoe.
Right? Oh, good. Okay.
You can say whatever you want. You're Lloyd Kaufman.
Thank you. Thank you, the 13th Wolfman. Do your friends call you V? They get to know you really well.
A lot of the guys on the other show call me Wolfie.
Wolfie.
So, Wolfie.
Okay. How about anybody call you 13th? Hi, 13th.
You can call me 13th.
If they really know you well, that's
They really know me well. Yeah,
that'd be like calling me Lloydie.
Lloydie.
Very close friend.
I see more of a coffee type.
Yeah, that's true. Especially the caffeine. Well, where were we?
So what do you got? What do you got coming out?
You say I'm coming out? Well, I came out years ago. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're married to a woman. Okay,
I'm proud of it. Yes. Return to Nuke Em High is the big one. The volume 2. That's the conclusion to my event film, which is going to be really Troma's best film. Michael Hers has said it himself, and our fans helped us to get the money for that too. Our fans raised quite a bit of the post-production money, so it's a real fan-fueled movie. I think our fans are going to really love Return to Nuke Em High, aka Volume 2. Have you heard, by the way, about Junk Bucket? That's a Troma world premiere release. Junk Bucket and its sequel, Junk Bonds.
I actually
Lang, who hails from us. He's from Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I will have to check that out because I have seen the mock-up poster that's a takeoff on TCM, Texas Chainsaw.
You saw the Junk Bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, check out the movie. It's on Troma Now. Troma Now is the world premiere subscription streaming service, and you can see we have about 8 new movies: Junk Bucket, Fear Town, Slashing, The Thingy, which has got a talking placenta in it. They're all on Troma Now, which is a streaming service. First month free, so you can check everything out for free. And you'll find some real treasures, some really great movies to review and have the directors, because they'll be the next Trey Parker or James Gunn. There are others standing in line to be the next ones. And these movies that we're bringing out now are truly exceptional. VHX Massacre, VHS Massacre, brilliant award-winning documentary, and of course. The Return of Junk Bucket. You'll fall in love with Junk Bucket.
So you have 3 daughters. Did any of them follow you into the business?
That's a great question, and the answer is yes. All 3 are independent directors of photography, and in fact, most of Volume 2, Return to Nuke Em High, aka Volume 2, most of that had a very distinguished director of photography named Charlotte Kaufman, whom you might remember from starring as the mute child in Terra Firma, Troma's Terra Firma. And so there's one that's in the business.
Yeah, there you go.
And now Lizbeth, the middle one, has organized a new. In fact, this is really interesting for your fans. It's called Kit Split. And it's kitsplit.com, KITSPLIT. It's a B&B for film and photography, moving image equipment. So if you are a cameraman and you own a camera and you only use it a week out of the month, you put it up on KitSplit like Airbnb does. And it's terrific. And they're now in New York, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Boston. You have to say Boston, though.
Boston.
And kitsplit.com. It's a very good thing, a very good service for you filmmaking people out there in the beautiful dark.
That is a really cool service. And
it's a great idea, and the Lily Hayes has a project at NBC that she wrote, which was picked up by NBC Comedy, for kind of a bit about the life as a Troma daughter. So she's writing, and she directed. Actually, Lily Hayes, we have a Halloween special that the whole family can enjoy every year at Halloween. Lily Hayes Kaufman wrote and directed that, and you can see that on Troma's YouTube channel for free. Troma Movies on YouTube. It's called Troma Movies on YouTube. You can see 300 Troma movies, plus shorts, plus my my non-award-winning masterclass lessons, all for free on Troma Movies on YouTube. And pretty much every day we put up new content for free to thank our fans for 40 years of support. Troma Movies. So that's all free. You should subscribe. It's actually a lot of fun, and there are buried treasures there, 13th, that you will love.
I will subscribe. I will definitely subscribe to that. I want to watch all the Troma I can. I'm a big fan. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Troma. Been that way forever. You know.
Thank you.
I want to end the interview on a quote from you.
Sure.
And I love this. I love this quote.
Better tell the children to leave the room now.
No, it's actually
not that kind of quote. Oh, good.
No, not that kind of quote. This is actually a really cool quote for any filmmaker out there. These are the words to follow by. I don't make crappy movies. I spend 2 or 3 years making a film. I don't take myself seriously, but I do take my film seriously.
Who said that? That's
you
brilliant.
Did, Lloyd.
What?
Yeah, you did.
What a wise man. That's an independent artist for you, Uncle Lloydie.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to thank you.
That was nice of you. Thank you for finding that quote.
Like I said, it's one that I've known for a while, but it's something that I think it's a great quote. I want to thank you, Lloyd, for coming by, sit down, and spending time to sit down with me and, talk about, Troma and your daughters and everything else. If people are looking for you, where can they find you on the internet?
Well, Grindr. Oh no, I mean LloydKaufman.com is my fan site. If there are any fans, Lloyd Kaufman, LLOYD. Troma.com, of course. We've got millions of people that go to Troma.com for information, for the news, especially every day. And then the Troma Facebook, we're very interactive with our fans there. My Twitter is at Lloyd Kaufman, 2 L's on Lloyd. And Troma's got all sorts of other social.
Okay, so Facebook, Twitter.
Oh, Troma for sure. We're very interactive, yeah. I answer my own Twitter. I do my own Twitter. So if somebody wants to get to me, that's how the best way to do it.
Right. Well, again, thank you for coming by. For Lloyd Kaufman, I'm the 13th Wolfman, and of course, I'm on the prowl.